Hey guys, I hope you had a good lunch. Let's go ahead and get started with our math. So in math we have talked about lots of different things already this year. We can tell odd and even numbers. We have learned lots of different ways that we can add numbers. And here in the last few days we've been talking about subtracting numbers, which is when we do the takeaway. So I've taught you two different strategies on how to do that, or two different ways that you can work those out. Let's go back over real quick those two strategies, or those two ways. And remember, I told you the great thing about these strategies is that you get to pick the one that you like, the one that works for you, the one that's getting you the right answer. The first way I taught you was that count back strategy, where you have to put the big number in your head and then you count back that many for the smaller number. So let's practice that strategy first. Alright, the count back strategy, you need to find the large number. So this one time it's 12. And 12 is going to go in your head. And then yes, I touch my head when I do that. It's like I'm putting it in there. So 12 is in my head. And then I would hold up 5 fingers. And I'm going to count back that many times. So 12 goes in my head. That is not where I start. 12. Then I start counting back. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Oh wait, I think I counted back wrong. I'm going to go back over that. 12 goes in my head, count back 5. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7. There we go. 12 take away 5 is 7. The count back strategy. And as you noticed, I messed up even with the count back strategy. I've told you before, it is not my favorite strategy. But if you're good at it, that's great. It's just not my favorite way. But we're going to practice it just so we can get better too. Alright, the count back strategy, I'd find my large number and I'm going to put it in my head. And then I will count back 3. So I hold up 3 fingers to kind of try to guide me. So 7's in my head. Now I start counting back. 6, 5, 4. 7 take away 3 is 4. Alright, and then 8 take away 2. I put that big number in my head, touching my head. I'm going to hold up 2 fingers to guide me. So 8. Now I start counting back. 7, 6. And I get 8 take away 2 is 6. That strategy is a great way. But if you were like me, I even messed up on the first one. If you're like me, you might like counting up better than counting backwards, because that just makes more sense. We learned how to count by normally counting up. We didn't learn how to count by counting backwards. That's not how they taught us. So counting up might be a better strategy for you, and I know it's a better strategy for me. When we count up, we are going to start at the small number. This time it's kind of the opposite. So I start at the small number, and I'm going to count until I get to 11, and I'm going to see how many are there, how many it takes me. And I hold up my fingers to see how many it takes me. On this board I'm drawing dots just that you can see that's how I'm doing it, but 11 take away 4, so I start. 4 is not where I start counting. That's just telling me that's where I start. So 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I can stop when I get to 11, and I'm going to see how many it took. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, it took 7. So 11 take away 4 is 7. And then on this one, if I'm going to do the count up strategy, I start at that small number. So the small number is 8. And I'm going to count up until I get to 13. Stop and see how many it took me. And I'm going to use my fingers. So 8. And that is not where I start counting. I don't hold up my finger at 8. 8's kind of where I start. It goes in my head. So 8. Now I can start counting. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Ooh, it took me 5 till I got to 13. And then 9 take away 7. I start at that small number. I'm going to count until I get to 9 and see how many it takes. So 7, 8, 9. Ooh, only took 2. Does that way seem to work for you guys too? Yes. But like I said, it doesn't matter which strategy you use. You can count back or you can count up, as long as you are getting the correct answers when you subtract. And like I've also said this year, we are trying to work this year where we get these memorized, where we just know them. That way you won't have to count up or count back. you will just know these. So the more we practice them, the better and the faster we're going to get, and we're going to remember them. And then it's going to make math so much easier. So if you can practice your subtraction in the math in the factmonster.com site, go into subtraction this time in your flashcards and practice some subtraction flashcards. That way you're getting faster and better, and hopefully you'll even start remembering some of them. But here are 3 I'd like you to try. I'm going to let you work on these. Any strategy you want, you can count up, you can count back, whatever you like to do. And then we'll go over and see if you've got the correct answer. I do want to show you that, like on this one right here, I did write it kind of backwards. I've seen it like this in the book a lot, in the pages I've been giving you to practice. Sometimes they do that, and I don't know why, but sometimes they'll put the answer at the beginning. And you're still going to do it the same way. You're still going to do 14 take away 7, but you're going to put the answer right here instead of at the end like on these ones. Don't let that confuse you though. It's just a different way of writing it, because it really won't matter. Whatever 14 take away 7 is going to equal it. It won't matter where you put the equal sign, but normally we see it like this. But sometimes they flip it around like this one. Don't let it mess you up. You're still going to do it the exact same way. You just put the answer in a different spot. Okay? All right, go ahead and pause this. Oops, my bad. There we go. Oops. There we go. Whew, I did not mean to do that. Go ahead and pause the video, and you can work on these 3. And you can restart the video when you're ready to go back over it. So go ahead. All right, hopefully you have got these solved. I bet it didn't take you hardly any time at all, because you're getting faster and better at these strategies. I know you are. All right, so in the first one, 17 take away 8, I've told you that I like doing the counted up, so I'm going to count up real quick and see what I get, and we're going to see if we match, okay? So 8 is the small number, and I'm going to count up to 17. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It took me 9 fingers, so that's my answer. Good. Is that what you got? All right, and then 9 take away 3. Same thing. I'm going to put the small number in my head. I'm going to count up to 9 and see what it gets. So 3. Remember, I'm not starting at 3. 3's going in my head. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oop, it took me 6 fingers, so that's my answer. And then 14 take away 7. Even though it's got the answer in the different spot, I'm still going to work it the same way. 14 take away 7. I'm going to put 7 in my head, and I'm going to count to 14, see how many it got. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, nope, just 14. And it took me 7 fingers. So that is my answer. 14 take away 7 is 7. This isn't too bad, is it? No, you guys were adding and subtracting like this in first grade. So this is things that you should know and probably be getting pretty good at. So I've given you a practice page with practicing subtraction. Use any strategy you want. It will not matter to me as long as you are getting those answers correct. All right, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, you can send me a chat. You can give me a call, whatever you need to do if you're having any trouble, and I can help you the best that I can. All right, bye guys.